Let's go.
What do you do with yours? I do unlimited football content.
Well, I do unlimited bragging.
Well, I do unlimited swiping right.
Well, I do unlimited doom scrolling.
Well, I do unlimited sliding into the DMs.
Well, I do watching TikTok on the bus without headphones unlimited.
Oh, God.
Yes, people, you heard that there, right? We are here and we have teamed up with Rocket Mobile for the mobile phone plan for football fans in the UK. It's unlimited calls, texts, and data for just £16 a month plus 20 gigs to use when abroad in the EU, plus perks, content, and other prizes when you make the switch. So either click the link below or scan the QR code on the right-hand side to learn more, obviously, at the end of the show. And my name is Dylan. We're back for Live at 5, and I'm joined today by my co-host, Abby.
Hi,
How are you?
Han. Was that
Hello.
your first read since you come back?
That's my second read, actually.
Okay.
But,
All right.
More than my first one where I had about 4 seconds warning, which was my fault.
It's fine. We were talking about other things.
I was talking about the physiotherapy I've been having on my knee.
I put Kim under some pressure last week to do the reads.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and then I got in his head a little bit.
Oh, no.
But, the cream rises to the top. You got
I thought we did quite well last week.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, yeah, Kim did a good job.
He did a great job of posting. Yeah, he did a great job.
But the reads, look, reads are actually quite hard.
Well,
I feel.
yeah, for
For some, when it's the mobile phone plan for football fans in the UK.
The mobile plan for what?
Exactly.
What was that? The mobile phone plan for
Football fans.
football fans in the UK.
But why don't you say it?
Rocket Mobile, the mobile plan for football fans in the UK.
No, because you missed out a word there.
What was it?
So it's the Rocket
You know
Mobile.
you don't have to read.
The Rocket Mobile plan for football fans in the UK.
The Rocket Mobile plan for football fans in the UK.
No, say it without pausing.
But you can pause. That is
No.
called breath. Have you ever taken
No.
one before?
No. But either way,
You
okay.
can take one.
Look. But either way, it's a great deal. Go check it out in the comments, in the description, on the QR code.
I'm
everything.
thinking of switching to Rocket Mobile.
I'm
It's a great deal. I'm actually thinking to do it.
Because when I went on holiday last week, I paid an extra 15 quid to have my data in the EU.
Yeah.
Whereas if I was with Rocket Mobile, which I should have just been, like it's an only extra £1 compared to then the extra I pay on top of that.
I mean, I should definitely be doing that.
Yeah.
Because when I go on holiday, it cost me an absolute fortune. Do you know how much my phone bill was from Dubai?
No,
because
how much?
I'm on Vodafone, right? And if anyone works for Vodafone, like, you need to sort this out because they don't have. It comes under rest of the world on my thing. So when you
Okay.
go to Europe, you can do like a 7-day roaming, 8-day
Yeah.
roaming, whatever, and it's like 15 quid or something like that. But for some reason, Dubai was not part of it. So I was basically just using my normal data when I wasn't on Wi-Fi, and I kept having to add data because I kept running out
How
of
much was
data.
that then?
My phone bill was £130.
For how many days?
I was, for the whole month, because obviously I basically used up most of my data before I went away.
Yeah, of course, okay.
And then had to use my data, add more on. So by the time I got back, until my plan renewed on what is like the 2nd or 3rd of the month,
Yeah.
I had to just be on Wi-Fi everywhere. And if I was out, I had no phone.
That's crazy.
Because it got to a point where I was like, I've added so much extra data.
Yeah.
Like, this is just ridiculous.
And if you'd Rocket Mobile?
If I used Rocket Mobile, it wouldn't have been a problem.
So yeah, well, because they do with Rocket Mobile, yeah, it's all in the EU. But especially, but as well, big time. If you're a fan of a club in Europe, which of course I'm not, but if you are and you go into European away games,
It's sorted.
absolutely
Sorted.
Yeah. And then, so that's our 4 minutes on Rocket Mobile done.
Okay.
But so I want to talk today because obviously I've not seen you in a while.
Yes.
It's been a couple of weeks, and a lot's happened in the last week or so. Tottenham suddenly in the second half turned into an actual football team.
Oh no! Do you know what? It's insane. I was left absolutely
I
dumbfounded.
saw I was watching the clip of you on TalkSport after the.
I just would like to clear something up, okay? I was not miserable. Bear in mind, I just watched a scorpion kick, okay?
Yeah.
I was not miserable
Jaw
at
was
all.
on the floor.
I was just in general shock, right, at like that whole second half. So I also haven't celebrated in such a long time, by the way, because there's been really nothing to celebrate.
It's been 84 years.
Yeah. So I just, in that second half where we were actually trying to play decent football and like, attacking and moving the ball forward, I was just incredibly confused. I didn't mean to look as miserable as I did. But
think
yeah,
you look miserable though. You look like you couldn't believe what you were looking at.
I couldn't really.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought also it took a touch. I didn't think it actually came off him. I thought it come off. Who was the defender? I can't remember who it was, but I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it came off the defender.
Yeah.
And then obviously, bear in mind we're waiting to see the replay as well. So yeah.
Because when I was watching the game, obviously I saw what Cherky scored like 10, 11 minutes in, and I was like, yeah, look, this is just, it's going to be another one of those days. This City going to score 3 or 4, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, this is going to be long. And I was also like, damn, Spurs are going to have a new manager bounce at Old Trafford next week.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, they're going to lose this game like 4-0, blah, blah,
Well,
blah.
do you know what? Everyone was robbed of a generational clip, right? Because I
Yeah.
went on the most, typical me, but where it was on the most impassioned rant at half time, okay? And it was actually emotional. Like, I got a bit emotional. Even Sam got a bit emotional, right? And it was meant to go out, obviously, at full time because there was no chance we thought we were turning that around.
Yeah, so
but then
that
obviously,
was gonna
because
be
the mood had slightly shifted, we were like, well, we can't put that out because obviously, like, we're having a happy moment right now. So you lot were actually robbed of it. But I might still post it anyway. Like, it's basically a timeless clip. It will work for whenever. So I'll post it myself as
Yeah.
and when we probably lose this weekend.
Whenever the Spurs go back to being Spurs.
Well, I think that we just have 45 minutes of it. I mean, not to be negative, but I can't imagine that this is a long-term thing.
You know what I found so funny? After the game, I saw Fuad talking about it, obviously, on FCM afterwards.
Yeah.
And he was like, I think, Dom Solanke, I think is, the answer to our issues. And I was like, I looked at it being like, shock. What, your £60 million striker might be the answer to goal scoring problems.
Look, there's of course, obviously, if we had a fit squad, like we are decimated by injuries, and I've really tried to not. Hold on. So, who just said that about my sky blue top, guys? There's a thing just called wearing clothes, right? Like, not everything is a football reference. Not everything is that.
Have you not seen Kim when he talks about he refuses to wear red?
Yeah, but red is Arsenal. Like, red is Arsenal.
No, but for Kim, if he's a City fan, red's United.
Yeah, sure. But, like, who was this that just said that? Daddy012. He said, you weren't upset. What about the
That's a
nice
crazy
sky
name.
blue top? Firstly, it wasn't sky blue. It was actually a little bit darker than sky blue. But, I mean, I don't expect you to know the difference in colours. And it was blue. Like, what's wrong with the blue top? It's not Derby Day. I'm not wearing a red top on Derby Day. It's just a blue top. Like, it's really just not that deep.
Well, for me,
But,
blue's my favourite colour to wear,
like,
personally.
I look nice in blue. And I was at work. So, yeah.
Game's a game.
Same way, if I want to wear red, I'll wear red because I like the colour red on me. Like, it's not that deep. Unless it's on Derby Day. Yeah, so I think you guys are reading into it a little bit too much. I actually like the colour. Yeah, I think obviously where we've got so many injuries, and I don't like to use it as an excuse, but we have been utterly ruined by it. And like, obviously Ange was as well. And I think my thing is just, there was no kind of kindness or grace given to Ange in the media last year when Ange had 16 injuries at the same time. Thomas Frank, now has 14 or so injuries. And I do feel for him in that. And I have always said that is a part. He's inherited what he's inherited. But at the same time, if I'd seen any type of better football from it over the last 7 months, I could work with it. But because I haven't, I just don't think he's the right manager. I think I've always maintained, I must be so boring. He's a decent manager. He did a very good job at Brentford. But I just think that this job is too big. Would I be happy if he turned it around and proved me wrong and the majority of the fan base? Absolutely. Do I feel sorry for him with the injuries? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But unless I start seeing more of those second half performances where the handbrake is off and you let them attack, let them.
Yeah, just let them do what they do best.
Let them try and win football matches. Let them, like, I was about to swear. Don't worry about the percentages. Don't stop telling them to not have like shots from outside the box. Let them just try and play football. Because with Spurs fans, and it's the same with any football team, right? But especially like Spurs fans at home in particular, like it's very hard to get behind a team and not boo. And it's actually not even necessarily about the team. It's about your discontent with the ownership, obviously.
Just letting frustration.
It's letting your frustration out. And I think that with the amount of money that we pay, we are more than entitled to boo. I really do. And the amount of trauma and managers and all of the other crap that has come with Spurs our entire lives, especially in the last 7 years since they got rid of Pochettino, we are absolutely entitled to boo. Now, as soon as you start giving them something to cheer for on the pitch, doesn't change how anybody feels about the ownership. What are you looking at?
I was just checking that one of the books wasn't in shot. Don't worry, it's just me being me.
Glory and Despair.
The one below it that we can't talk about.
Sorry. No fans. Yeah. So if you give them something to sing about on the pitch, they'll get behind the team. It's very hard to get behind a team.
Yeah.
When there's nothing going forward, you're not creating anything, and you're just getting absolutely carved open. Now, I don't know what happened at halftime. I don't know what was said in that dressing room. But they came out a completely different team, and actually City came out a different team. It was literally as if we did.
It's also that's been that's such a thing with City at the moment. Is I don't really think they're not that good at the moment. Like,
no,
you've seen all the rumours about. So we can actually touch on City in a bit about the rumours about Pep Guardiola and Xabi Alonso, etc. Because we talked about it a bit yesterday. But it was a transfer deadline day show yesterday, so everything a lot of transfer related. Sam was on here talking about some stuff, but we can go into that. But I do want to talk specifically about Romero and his Instagram post.
Yeah.
So just for anyone who I don't know how you would have missed it, but for anyone who's missed it, is Romero came out and this was after the transfer window closed. I don't know how deliberate that was, him waiting to post this until after the window closed, because it was quite a while after the game.
Yeah.
So he came out yesterday, photo of him in the Spurs kit from the City game, and he says, "Great effort from all my teammates yesterday. They were incredible. I wanted to be available to help them even though I wasn't feeling well, especially since we only had 11 players available. Unbelievable but true, and disgraceful," with a palm on his face emoji adding to it. "We'll keep showing up and taking responsibility to turn this around, working hard and staying together. All that's left is to thank all of you for being there and always supporting us, the fans, at 2 white hearts and then at Spurs official."
Yeah.
And then all the comments are going, "Well said, good stuff, my captain." You agree with that? So a lot of the Spurs fans, at least, like the comments with lots of likes, praising him and saying, "Well said, captain, well done, good stuff. Thank you for saying this."
Well, I don't know what you can say back to that. I think if you read between the lines, in the last few Instagram posts that he did, like over the last couple of weeks, he did one not long ago that basically was calling out the board, and then they had to change the wording on it. So it is just like, whether or not he was ill or not, I find it very hard to believe that a man like Romero would come off at half time unless you were really unwell. I know he was unwell during the week, but like from Wednesday to Sunday, like if he played on, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I find that little bit odd. Yeah, I find that a bit odd, but who knows? Maybe in time we'll find out, and it is what it is. He said what he said. I think that it is a disgrace if I look at this transfer window and the position that they've left Thomas Frank in. I really do.
Yeah.
Like, in a week alone, we lost 4 more players, and we've had no attacking options the entire time in his whole tenure. So, like,
and you've got another like you got 2 competitions still to play in, yeah.
And like, this is where I feel really bad for him, because if you are sticking with him and if you are going to back him, then you've got to give him more than Conor Gallagher and 2 kids. One that's going in the under-21s and one that is realistically just not going to play. So you've given him all of that in a whole month. So I have no issue with anybody calling out the board, to be honest with you. And if the captain in Romero is happy to call out the board, then that's because he's trying to raise the standard as to what is going on at Tottenham Hotspur. Because I genuinely didn't think he was going to stay in the summer. I thought he would be going to Atletico. I was surprised that he was still there.
I remember you mentioning, yeah.
I really was shocked. And the whole standard needs to be raised. Like, he's not wrong. That goes for the players on the pitch, firstly, and playing for the shirt and the badge. That goes on the manager and the tactics and what you're putting out there. That goes for the whole club in general, like the ambition of the club. I got asked a few weeks ago on Inside Spurs, what do we think the ambition of Tottenham is? And I said, I genuinely don't know. Like, I always, like, they want to say that their ambition is to compete on all fronts. Well, we're not competing in anything. Like, I mean, we could say we're competing in the Champions League, but come on, like, let's be serious. Like, how far are we going to go in that? Expectedly.
Yeah.
I know it's been unexpected. We finished in the top 4 of it. Somehow, don't know how we've managed that. But let's be real in terms of the expectation in that particular competition. But if I was to say, well, the expectation of Tottenham, I mean, honestly, the expectation is to finish in the top half right now, because we haven't finished in the top half last season, and there's a very high chance we won't finish in the top half this season. So you want to leave him in this situation with 14 players out, and you bring in only one that's going to come straight into the team, which is Conor Gallagher.
You're 5 points off Everton in 10th.
Yeah. And like we're talking about Tottenham here. I know that people say, well, you're Tottenham, you're crap, you're this, you're that. Fine, but they're still a Big Six club. It's a disgrace that they finished 17th last year.
The club that won, I know you finished 17th last year, but also you did win the Europa League.
But like I always say, it's one night that made a difference. And obviously it's a big difference because it kind of broke the duck on that, like not winning anything for 17 years. But you finished 17th. And if you didn't win that, you just finished 17th. You were the next team to go down. And Spurs this season, like, it's the same. And whether or not it's the medical staff that are at fault for the injuries, obviously some can't be helped. Like when you look at Kulusevski and you look at Maddison, for example, if you get something like an ACL or
like more of a freak injury,
you can't prepare for that. When you're constantly getting muscle injuries, hamstrings, like you got to do better. Like, what's the recovery like? What are you doing? Like, how are you managing these players?
That's something that I remember under Erik ten Hag, I was always gobsmacked about, being like, how do we get this many injuries?
Yeah.
Like, it was, I don't know what, like, I remember because we hired, what was his name? Gary O'Driscoll, the guy, we hired the head of medicine from Arsenal.
Yeah.
See, Arsenal had all their injury problems. We hired him, had all our injuries, just got rid of him. And it was the one thing that Amrim did that I was like, you've done so well here, is Luke Shaw, right, has started every single Premier League game for us this season. He's one of the only players in the Premier League to basically play almost every single minute.
Which is crazy if you look at his previous injury
record. Look at his
record.
injury record.
Maddison has been injured. I know he's always been an injury-prone player. And it was a shame because obviously he missed so much of last season, and to come back and then do your ACL was absolutely crazy work.
Yeah.
The Kulusevski one, we still don't really know when he's back. Literally, no one knows.
I think for also as well the Spurs stuff, it's like the fact it was the timelines are always so wrong. Like, to me, that's such a red flag. It's like, oh yeah, he's got a minor thing, minor this, minor that, and then suddenly Solanke disappears for 3 months. Kulusevski's out for the season, Maddison's out for the season. He comes back and then he's out for the season again. Into in a pre-season game.
It's just absolutely insane. But even like the management for someone like Bergvall in the game against, was it Dortmund? The game against Dortmund that he got injured.
Yeah.
They make him play on for an extra 5 to 10 minutes and try and make him run it off. And now he's out for 3 months.
Yeah.
Like, these are things that it's like, have a bit of brain. Have a little bit of a brain
cell
in there.
That's what I found mad when I remember everyone.
When you also only had 12 players to pick from.
Yeah. When we came to Tottenham Stadium earlier this season, the 2-2 draw, it was Šeško went down after we'd made all our subs.
Yeah.
And I had like Marcel was coming at me, and we were on United View, and he was going, Šeško should have stayed on. Like, the 11th man, just stand there, just occupy the centre-backs. And I'm like, no, because he could get injured longer. He was ended up being out for 6 weeks anyway with the injury that he got there.
Yeah,
I can't remember what injury it was.
It's like
no, you shouldn't play 5-10 minutes more.
Whether or not you're a footballer, whether or not you go to the gym, whether or not you're a runner, whatever.
When you're injured, you're injured.
When you're injured, you're injured. Yeah. Training on it is only going to make it 10 times worse.
You can talk about, the players of old, the Wayne Rooneys who would play on Roy Keane, but also...
There's a level to the injury. There's obviously
there's a level to the injury, but also then look how Wayne Rooney's career ended.
Yeah.
He was done by the time he was 31, 32.
I just think that, like, when it comes to Spurs, there's so many different factors about levelling up as a club, and it will always start at the top. It will always start with the ownership and how you want to build and move that club forward, how you want to manage that club in terms of ambition. The recruitment is absolutely shocking. So I don't have an issue with the club captain calling out the board. Long may it continue. The only thing, actually, which was probably quite disappointing, because all of the protest and all the frustration is actually at the board, in all honesty, So there was...
Well, it's a trickle-down effect,
of course
isn't it? Like,
is.
if it's wrong at the top level,
a fish rots from its head, and it's, as has always been rotten. So when you have a look at what they were planning to do with Change for Spurs, so they're the one that organised all the protests and stuff like that. And obviously some people are on board with it, some people don't like it, some people think that it's pointless, whatever. But I appreciate Change for Spurs. They're always trying to drive change. And they staged a protest for 75 minutes. Now, obviously at half-time, that was looking bang on. That was a walkout at 75 minutes. But, of course, when it got to 75 minutes, we've had 25 minutes of watching half-decent football. No one's going to walk out when that's going on. But that's not because the feeling has changed. That's because they're behind the team.
Yeah.
So I did see a few people online being, like, posting videos.
Well, I saw the videos of, like...
Yeah, but it's like,
like
that's just such a stupid, pointless thing to say. But firstly, what are you mocking them for if you're a Spurs fan? Like, you should be wanting Change for Spurs to help change this club.
And also as well, the video, I've got to say, the video was before they'd even actually left the ground.
Yeah.
They were in... So they could have filmed that video and then gone back.
Yeah,
so even then, it's like, if you actually wanted to make a point, no one else walked out, you still want to walk out. Leave the actual stadium first, then do the video.
Yeah, exactly. But also, like, at this point, the team is trying to win the game, which we haven't seen for a long time.
Yeah.
So of course, at the end of the day, all we want is to have success and to win games. So you're not going to stage a walkout when the team are actually, for once, putting in...
Doing kind of what you're asking for
what they're
anyway.
asking for. So it doesn't change the feeling towards the board. It doesn't change the feeling, and hopefully there'll be other protests. But I think that, like, just pointing that out and being like, oh, no, some type of protest. Well, actually, for once, our team actually showed a little bit of intent and passion towards the badge and tried to go and win a game. So actually, at that point, it's more important to get behind the team and see if we can actually get some points. Although
you can always walk out on another day.
There'll be a million other times for you to do the walkout, but I just don't like it. Like, I just think, you know, we constantly sit here and we moan about the shortcomings of our club and of our board, and when people like Change for Spurs or like the Supporters Trust want to do something to try and drive that, like, just don't take the mic, just shut up. You've got nothing
I also
nice to say,
think
don't say
it's
it.
so interesting, and I really think it's a real big difference when a manager calls out a board and when a player does.
Yeah.
I think it's huge. So I remember, Bruno Fernandes effectively called out our board earlier this season where he didn't call them. So he basically called them out by saying he doesn't feel valued by the board. He didn't feel like, you know, the club value the contribution that he's made over the last few years. And it feels so much more sincere. I think it really, again, it's Bruno Fernandes captain, Romero captain.
Yeah.
Like, so if a manager calls out a board, like, we won't go into it again, but the Unai Emery stuff when we were talking about the other week, that was like kind of, you know, like a manager kind of saying something as a signal to the board to be like, hey lads, I need some help. Obviously they ended up getting Douglas Luiz, and I know they still lost against Brentford. We were 10 men, but that's a different story. But then I think when a player does it, it's done from... They've got less of an angle.
Do you know what the difference is?
If that makes sense.
You can sack a manager, but you can't really sack a player.
Yeah.
So if players are pretty untouchable, they can, for the most part, say what they want to say. Like, and when
but it also feels so much more sincere. It's not like
does.
going at the board because the board have given you a player.
Yeah.
Like a player, it feels like if a player comes out against the board, it's speaking more from the heart.
Yeah, and it's because they also want to match the ambition.
Yeah, and I think
you don't play football to finish 17th.
And if a player is speaking against the board, I think it reflects more honestly about what's really going on rather than a manager.
I don't think anyone would ever have a problem with a player speaking out against the board.
Yeah,
ever.
The
and
board
especially
would.
like, the board can. I hope the board find all of it very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
but yeah, I have no issue with it at all, and it's about time we saw some leaders kind of in this Spurs team. So if that's the way that we're going to do it, I mean, I can't see anything changing, and that the January transfer window will show you everything on that. I actually honestly forgot it was deadline day yesterday, because I was just like, we're so irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, we did nothing as well.
We did nothing, and I do appreciate it does take time to change the culture of a football club. Yeah. But we can move on. We can move on. City got big problems. You know, the title's done.
So
title's done. We know that, right?
Yeah, the title's been done
but like title's fully.
It's done. Yeah. I'm just happy that we took 3 points off both teams. Yeah, it's I've had a great couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And I've barely been here as well.
Oh yeah, of course.
We literally,
God. You weren't here.
By the way, the way that I was skiing and doing the little Cunha celebration, I should have filmed it. I should have filmed it. It would have been such a good video.
That would have been really good.
It would have been such a good video.
How did you feel? That was just insane.
So you know when you were talking about when Solanke scored his second and you were kind of just like, you almost froze because you couldn't believe what you were looking at. When Cunha scored that winning goal, I was watching on the sofa in the Airbnb I had with me and my mates when we were skiing in Bulgaria. So I jumped up on the sofa and I was like, yeah, blah, blah. And I kind of stood there for a second and went, hold on, what have I just watched? Because I
couldn't believe what I was watching.
On Best of Enemies, I was giving it large, right? Because it was me and KG versus Ty and Robbie. You can't not give it large. I was going 3-1, 3-1, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But then when I was on the other shows, when I went on IFTV, I was like, my genuine prediction is a 2-2. So I said, Arsenal will have their attacks, they'll score first, which they did. They'll have their moments, they'll have their set pieces, they'll be able to do stuff, right? But I also said, we will have our chances, and I think we will take our chances because I trust my players. Like Mbumo got gifted a chance. If that was going to Rasmus Højlund's hitting the bar. Højlund's like the ball's getting smothered there. But I was like, Brian and Mbumo, I trust them. Cunha, Bruno, I trust these guys to take their chances when they. Dorgu's goal.
Oh,
crazy, right?
Absolutely mind-blowing.
Mental goal. I'm gutted that he's out now. Like 2 months, 10 weeks out.
Such a shame as well. He's
finally come alive, man. He got released from Ruben Amorim's shackles, and then he's out for 10 weeks. But
crazy.
The overall game, and then since then we had the Fulham game as well. And I was saying that was probably the harder test for us because like the City game, I wasn't expecting anything. I was literally sat here just going, I just want to see us play well, do something interesting.
Yeah.
We ended up obviously absolutely battering them 2-0. That was beyond what I thought we were. And I was like sick. And then the Arsenal game, I was like, look, we've already got 3 points more than I thought we were going to get out of these two games.
Yeah.
So whatever happens in the Arsenal game, it's a bit of a free hit. And then the comments were like, the mentality on this United fan. What do you mean free hit? I'm like, look,
It was
end of the
a free
day,
hit. It was a free hit.
free hit.
It was a
If
free
we'd lost
hit.
that game, as long as we don't get battered like 4-0, 5-0, I'm like, anything that happens. We then end up winning that game, and I'll go to look at the Fulham game, and I'm like, okay, this is really going to say a lot about us.
Yeah.
Let's say if Fulham come and dominate us and we do nothing with the ball, obviously we score twice, 2 lovely goals. Lovely free kick, and then Cunha's goal was nice. And then they come back into it. Classic United, always do this.
Yeah.
But then we still managed to win the game. Sheshko with a lovely winning goal. Not even looking at the goal, turning, shooting. I'm just like, okay, cool. Now we just got to keep it going.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got Spurs next at Old Trafford.
I mean, we're getting closer to the guy cutting his hair.
Yeah.
I mean, he must be buzzing. He must be absolutely buzzing.
Is that a pun?
Haha.
Whee!
No, it wasn't, but that's good. I have to say, like, that game was such a great football moment.
What?
Like the
Arsenal
United game, because it's just like, it just went against what was planned. I actually didn't think that you would lose that game. I just fancied you. After the City
my
game.
genuine prediction was 2-2.
Yeah.
And to be fair,
think
it
mine
was
was as well.
2-2, bar an absolute moment of magic at the end.
It was magic. Like the Dorgy one was just like hit so good, but then the Cunha one, oh my god, it sent shockwaves through my body.
Yeah.
It was honestly the most injectable thing ever, and it just, regardless of whether or not they win the league, that moment was just so great. Like it just felt like football.
It was so quintessential football, wasn't it?
It just felt like
was so
football.
anti-Arsenal.
They're so anti-Arsenal.
So anti-Arsenal,
We've just
bro.
been so deprived of good football, I feel like, for so much of this season in particular. Like, it's all about, and I get that, football is all about fine margins. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
But it's been a little bit boring at times. And then you get some, like the odd game here and there. Like even like the game against City the other day for us, or your game against City, or the Arsenal game. You just get moments of magic, which remind you why football is beautiful. And it's just, you just want to see things like that. It doesn't have to be a million touches into the back of the net.
I just found it so
It's just
hilarious.
quality, class.
So after Cunha's goal, you know the coach's voice? Have you ever seen the coach's voice?
No,
It's a
what's the
fantastic
coach's
goal.
voice?
It's great. So they get like coaches and managers and stuff to talk about It's really, really interesting. Gary O'Neill went on it, I think, a year ago.
Yeah.
Or maybe like 6 months ago, and talked about Cunha. And he basically went, our entire game plan at Wolves was to get Cunha in this little box just outside the 18-yard box, and just told him, just shoot, man.
Just shoot.
And then you look at the thing, and it was exactly that little area.
Yeah.
And I was here to being like, that is criminal from Arsenal to give Cunha
that space,
because that is like his bread and butter. Like if he gets in that, that's why he does it at United so much. Gets in that little space just on the left-hand side of the D, outside the area, and just shoot. 7 out of 20 go in.
So good.
Like,
so good
and it just was, and I was just so happy.
But you're just playing with such a freedom. Like that's.
I don't even think it is just freedom though.
I think there is freedom. Like you've been so confined to that ridiculous formation that even like having Cobby in there, like it is criminal that Cobby wasn't playing under Amorim. It's insane. Obviously, criminal in that sense.
By the way,
but
him being able to come in flawlessly after 15 months of basically no starts.
Oh, it's mad.
It speaks a lot.
We were talking about it on yesterday's show that maybe it was actually before the show. We were talking outside, but like you've basically gone back to just Sir Alex ball, like 4-4-2 most of the time. Attack, wingers do your thing, defenders do your thing, and strikers. That's it. Like it's not like it don't have to be rocket science. Like you just have to put the players in the right positions and let them play football.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's a
you can
simple
do a
game.
little bit of tick-tack here and there, but like it doesn't have to be so thought out.
It's something I don't agree with Gary Neville a lot, but one thing he said about Ruben Amorim, which I think was so spot on, is he said, I've never seen someone complicate such a simple sport.
Yeah, it's true.
It's what I think a lot about. It's why Ten Hag ultimately failed at United. His first season at United was effectively get the ball to Rashford, give him some space, and Rashford scored 30 goals that season.
Yeah, it's insane.
It turned into a 4-2-2-2. Mason Mount inverted striker with Wout Weghorst dropping back up. No, Weghorst. Sorry. Who was our striker that season? It was Rasmus Højlund dropping back in. Blah blah blah. And it was like, what's going on here? Like it just didn't work. And look, long may it continue with Michael Carrick. Cool, and he's driving Pep Guardiola out of Manchester. Well, maybe not, but basically, he's driving out of Manchester. But so what came up yesterday about Pep Guardiola, and talk about it a little more, is Matt Law, who generally is good with Chelsea, maybe not so much Man City. He doesn't release a lot of Man City information, but it's interesting. Is effectively Xabi Alonso is expected to be on a 3-man shortlist to succeed Pep Guardiola at Man City, with Enzo Maresca along the contenders and Cesc Fabregas gaining admirers across Europe. This came out after the Spurs game, and what I found so interesting with this, if I can find it, he wrote about sources at City talking about, they spoke specifically about Sunday's draw against Spurs. And so what one of the sources said was, Tottenham were there for the taking, but City weren't ruthless. They let them take off the hook. They let them take off the hook. Some players look like they think Pep is leaving at the end of the season, and as a result, they're going through the motions. And another source says it just doesn't look like as though they've got as much means to them as Arsenal. Most of them have won all these trophies, and if they win a league title, then great. But if they don't, does it mean much? Haaland was laughing with Tottenham players near the end of the game when City needed a goal. So basically, those within City now I kind of feel like the players are cruising.
No, I don't think that it's a cruising thing.
Do you not think it's a
in my
cruising thing?
opinion, I don't think it's a cruising thing.
This is just what
No,
Matt Law
I
is
don't
saying.
think it's a cruising thing at all. I don't think City have that mentality generally. I think that Haaland in particular looked like he was running in treacle. I think he looks tired. He looks off it. And I was half joking yesterday, but actually there's a bit of truth to it, that I actually felt like if like, this is obviously not a comparison between Gyökeres and Haaland, but if you would have told me that that performance the other day was Gyökeres, I'd probably have believed you, because the first touch was stinky.
But Haaland's got 1 goal in 8. And it was
I know, but like, look,
Stinking up my FPL team, man.
It's very hard to be critical of him because of what he's done and what a beast he is. But I think just by his standards, like, he looks tired, and I think that you can see that. I don't understand why he didn't bring on Phil Foden and Marmoush until like the 80-odd minute. I thought that was pretty bizarre. My opinion on whether or not they're cruising, no, they're not a team that cruises. Like, they want to win the league. Like, there's no way. They're just not ready. Like, this is a team it's not the City of old, guys. Like, yes, you've still got a Rodri in there, and you've got a Bernardo Silva, but it's not the City of old. Like, it's a changing of we're going through a transition with City. It's a bit of a changing of the guard. They've spent a lot of money, and it does take time for teams to be at their best. Like, I just think that we want City, like, obviously the footballing world, that is not against Arsenal winning the league, is against Arsenal winning the league, wants to have a proper title race and wants to see whether it could be City, Villa, an outside shout. But it's all about consistency. Arsenal have a team that, yes, they've added to it and their signings have been brilliant, but has been built over the last 6.5 years, right? They're in a position where they are ready to win the league. Mo Salah said it in the summer. That's a team that is ready to win the league. Liverpool, for example, we didn't think that the drop-off was going to be as crazy. It has been this season on the back of last, but that's a team that's also going through a new era. Lots of new players. Lots of players that probably need to leave as well, a few of them. Some that have underperformed, especially in their midfield, in their engine room. Like Gravenberch and McAllister have not been at it. Szoboszlai's been by far their best player. Obviously, Ekitike and Wirtz are coming into that bracket now and finding form, especially Wirtz. So I think that when you look at City, takes time. They started to do their overhaul last Jan, really. So they've had 1, 2, 3 windows. It takes more than that to gel and build a team. It's taken Arsenal 6.5 years to be in a position where they probably will now win the league. So you've got to give. I find it hard to also put pressure on City after what they've achieved. And obviously Liverpool as well when they won the league last year. So yeah. That's where I'm at with it. I don't ever question when it comes to City or Pep's mentality. That's not something I ever question.
Fair enough, but do you not think, because I do think to a certain extent, and this is not to talk about Pep Guardiola's abilities as a manager, because obviously he's one of the best managers we've ever seen, but to a certain extent, do you think just Pep's hitting his expiration date at City?
I think that he probably shouldn't have done the 2-year extension. I think I remember saying that at the time. I think that leaving on a high would have been perfect and let someone else start the new rebuild and the new project. Whether or not he's still there next season, I think we spoke about it last week with Ella or the week before. Yeah. But she was saying she doesn't think he will be. I said that I thought he would be still there.
I don't think he's going to be there.
I'm leaning more towards maybe he wouldn't be now. I'm starting to change my mind. But then again, I don't know if he would leave it in this way. Like, with everything he's achieved, obviously no one's going to hold it against him this season, last season. But I don't know if that sits right with him not leaving on a high. That's why I thought he would leave after they did the 4. But I also think you have to take into consideration, like, someone like Rodri, who was the most who honestly was the most important player to City. Like, is having 2 men in there, like, before injury.
Yeah,
he's not come back the same. So, And obviously when you have an injury of that kind and that long of an injury, sometimes you don't come back the same. Still a great player. He's Ballon d'Or winner. He's unbelievable. But you can see that it has taken a little bit of toll, in my opinion. On Pep, I wonder who they go for next. I wonder if it's a Maresca.
So it's going to be interesting who they go for. So the report itself says that Kompany's not expected to leave. So he signed a new contract with Bayern Munich a couple months ago, and I remember I was sat in that seat basically saying, I wonder if there's some sort of Man City clause in there. But this report says, obviously, Kompany's got all the time in the world to go to Man City at some point.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure he could stay at Bayern Munich for a few more years, maybe go and manage the Belgium national team or Germany, or go manage in Spain or something, or a different Premier League club, come in and manage Bayern Munich to, I don't know where else he'd go that isn't a Big Six team. But I do feel like now is also the best time for City to change managers, because they've signed so many players in the last 12 months. Like, if those players were to spend a few more seasons under Pep, then switch to a new manager, it might make the new manager's job a bit harder to get like all the muscle memory out. But if it's right now, obviously signing Mark Gay recently, Semenyo in the last 12 months, obviously then Marmoush a year ago, and all the players they signed in the summer, now could be a very good time while the players are still slightly settling in. If a new manager comes in almost at the same time just after them, they're slightly settled, and the new manager knows who's going to be there, whoever it is, if it's Xabi Alonso, if it's Enzo Maresca, if it's Cesc Fabregas, for example, because they're the three names that are mentioned in this article.
I also think that Kompany could be a very outside shout for it.
I would have, but I'm going off the information Matt Law here, saying that Kompany's settled and doesn't seem to be like on the list yet. I think maybe the Kompany could be an outside shout.
If it's the end of this season, then yeah. But I think if he stays and he's still there another season, then I think that might fit quite nicely.
Even for next summer.
Yeah, I'm still really not sure. Really not sure on it, to be honest with you.
It says here, sources who work closely with Bayern Munich do not expect Vincent Kompany to leave them for City if the post become available at the end of this season. Company former City captain extended his contract to 2029 in October last year and was heavily involved in the club's summer transfer plans. So maybe if it's next season, but I feel like now could be, from City's perspective.
Sorry, Kenya just sent me something that she saw. Tottenham have appointed former Brentford physio Liam Horgan as first team rehab physio. Horgan comes the 9th member of staff to be at Spurs who have worked at Brentford. His appointment comes amidst injury crisis. Now, everyone in the comments is saying same physio who was part of Brentford's horrible injury crisis did a terrible job at Brentford. Definitely makes sense why they're bringing him. I don't know anything about the guy, so let's put it this way: the injuries.
Is this just happened?
This happened.
Or was this
2 hours ago?
A couple hours ago.
Couple hours ago.
So he's not yet been involved in training.
No, but I'll be honest. When you've got no players, I mean, how much worse can it get?
Yeah, who
Thomas Frank going to get injured?
Left to injure.
Literally, Thomas Frank.
Thomas Frank's going to come up with a
Chirpy the mascot. Like, that's it. It's everyone that's left. Yeah.
I just feel like with City, for me, the Man City, it's the best time for them to get a new manager is this summer.
Okay. I mean, I don't disagree.
Although I'd like it if they didn't, because that takes that makes it harder for us.
Yeah.
When we get a new manager in the summer.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Which I still think will happen. I don't think it'll be Carrick.
Yeah, what's your feelings on Carrick?
Carrick is just... Look, I think... and I said this from the moment we appointed him, comparing him to Solskjaer and Solskjaer's reign is very unfair. Yeah. That's like comparing one French manager to another French manager. Like, they're their own managers in their own right.
They're very different.
And Carrick showed himself to be very tactically competent. Well, so far, his games at United across these 2 spells, he's, 6 games, 5 wins over the likes of Tuchel, Conte, Pep Guardiola and co. Mikel Arteta as well. So Conte, I think he drew with, actually, didn't he? But overall, I'm saying if he does very well, let's say obviously we finish 4th, or let's say we manage to somehow get 3rd. I don't know. Like that's possible because we only have 1 game a week. Obviously, we need to make sure we don't get injuries and co. He should then be considered based on merit from how he's done, but there shouldn't be any sort of, if he wins enough games, he should get the job over someone else. Yeah, if that makes sense. Yeah. I feel like, and Carrick himself, it came out. Look at this super chat. Rishi says, "Rubbish Tottenham 0-4 Arsenal Abbi."
Sorry, read me that again. I would love a Telegraph subscription if anyone's got, because there's an article. There's an article that says, from embarrassing tifos to the groundbreaking Well, actually, no, I won't read
Oh,
that
you
bit.
just like the Arsenal
I wanted
one.
to read this so badly.
It is an incredible article.
Have you got the Telegraph?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll read it on yours after.
Yeah,
Stunning.
It's an incredible
just
article.
absolutely ripping.
It just rips into Arsenal.
Oh, I must read.
At one point, it calls Arsenal the flat earthers of football, or football's flat earthers, and
Hello.
it is. Hey,
Hello.
Marty? Have you seen the article that's been written on the Telegraph about Arsenal fans? Called them the worst set of fans in the league. So, come here on camera. Come
on.
on camera.
Why don't you come join us? We've only got two.
I don't know
haven't
if either of these mics.
I'll
work.
share with you. You can share with me. if you
Go
want.
share over there.
Come
But
on.
basically, the
Come on.
article, the article comes out, and it's basically talking about Arsenal
Get
being the
yourself
most,
over here.
thank you.
Come on, darling.
the most like unbearable set of fans. Yeah, welcome, Marty.
Most unbearable set of fans.
I mean, it's
get
not
it.
wrong, is it?
We're loud- we're loud on
And
social
Arsenal. It
media.
basically says
We're
the
loud everywhere.
the conspiracy theories that Arsenal fans always come out with make them the flat earthers of the football world.
Oh, leave it out. Leave it out. Everyone's just got the ump because listen, we're on course to have a monumental season.
So good.
Listen, we're in the semi-final tonight.
Yeah.
Would
Actually,
you
wait.
soon-
It's a
Oh
good
my
time to
God,
move to
what
this.
time
Yeah.
is it all in here? I need to get out of
8
here.
o'clock. Well, so no, we're all
8 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, 8 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah.
So we should all be in here by half. Well, we're live at 6:30. So
For the
starting 11.
starting 11 show, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, this is probably a good time to move on to because we're going to talk about the game tonight. Obviously, both set because you're in the other semi-final.
Me.
Oh no, it's Newcastle, isn't it? Sorry.
me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's you, isn't it? It's you.
Was it?
No, it was Newcastle. I get you. You and Newcastle. You know, teams below United. I get confused, man. I get confused.
Also, just before you move on, you know the flat Earth theory.
Yeah.
right?
Are you a flat earther?
I'm not a flat.
Are you sure?
No, I'm far too intellectual.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say was, don't remember that you didn't win the league because the Queen died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
or
that.
It was raining.
You got to remember, it's been
You've got to
raining.
remember it's been raining.
It's
Yeah.
raining, yeah. Oh, it's raining tonight as well. So listen,
What?
we've got that one lined up.
Is it raining for both
Ready to
teams
go.
or is it just Arsenal?
Just Arsenal.
Oh.
Just Arsenal.
Yeah.
So it'll be just Arsenal. So.
Are you a flat earther?
No, I'm not.
Are
Unfortunately,
you?
no.
Dylan? You strike me as a flat earther.
Yeah.
What? Why?
Definitely.
I'm an intelligent man.
This is a big change from your what was it? Your boxing promoter look that I saw the other week.
Oh yeah, that was
quite
To be
impressive.
fair, I can't lie. That is one of my favourite ever
Definitely had
videos.
a tub
It is
of tub of
fantastic.
gel on his hair. Suit.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
sunglasses.
it was gel back,
Yes,
glasses on, wearing a
it was
suit.
I did see. I did.
The first half of the thing was just you getting ripped into by X.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just there
It
for a
was
bit
so-
cannon fodder.
That's what you were there for. You were there.
Yeah,
to-
that's
to-
it.
to security guard.
That was it. Yeah. Anyone who hasn't seen it, go and watch Best of Enemies from about a week or so ago. 2 weeks ago. Even though the United Arsenal game's been done now. Honestly, one of the best videos. But I mean, yeah, we may as well move on to the game tonight as well.
Now you
Anyway,
have a mic.
is that mic
Here,
working?
here, here. No, you got to stay where you are.
Oh, have I?
These are movable.
Yeah.
Okay. all right.
You sure you
Well,
don't
we
think
haven't
so?
we haven't got the other lens there. But look, so big semi-final tonight. Alejandro Garnacho has come out with arms swinging
Yeah.
headed
What's he
tonight.
said?
He basically said, "If United can win there, so can we." Is effectively
Probably
what he
should have
said.
Come from Garnacho, though, should it?
Yeah, of all players, by the way, for it to come. But he scored.
He
scored
did.
both goals, didn't
Did
he?
anyone,
Look,
did anyone see Matisse crash out over Garnacho the other day?
No.
Oh, you must go back and watch it. If you look in the comments on YouTube, you'll find the minute. I think it was like an hour and a half or something.
Was
So
it
worth
or on Weekend Roundup?
No, it was on his own channel, on his own watch along on the game.
Oh, on his watch
Oh
along on
yeah,
the day.
fully crashed out. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was great.
I'll find
What was
Garnacho's
this
full
against
quote.
West Ham game.
This was in the West Ham game.
2-0 down, not good look. I think the thing with this game is if Chelsea go, they're susceptible to conceding early goals, right? And they can find themselves in a situation where 2-0 down, they can claw it back. But I think if you end up being 2-0 down against Arsenal, obviously we're 3-2 up as it is.
Yeah.
There's a 3-goal lead. I think we then go on to put them to bed properly.
Yeah.
And that's just where the game's at. If I'm honest with you, I think we'll win the game 3-1, and I think they'll score first. I just have a feeling. I think it's going to be a really good game of football. There's always a contentious decision. There's always usually it's hot-headed. It's a lively game. I personally, even as if I was a neutral, I'd be really looking forward to this
I
game
really
tonight.
am tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic game of football. I'd be
Never neutral though. I mean, I hate you both, but like, I'd still rather Chelsea, wouldn't I? Like,
Would you rather? Oh yeah, of course you would. Yeah.
I'm never ever neutral.
Have you met Abby?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I-
of course.
I-
She's actually Abbi.
Abby's not pro Spurs. She's just anti
I
Arsenal.
actually had Abbi on AFTV and we did a box
We
to
did a
box
lovely
for
box to box,
Tottenham.
didn't we? We had
And,
such a nice chat.
Yeah, we did. It was fantastic,
did.
and we actually worked out that Abbi has a bit of a soft spot for Arsenal. That's why. She's not denying
tell
this.
me what that means.
So basically, she really respected our. It come down to it. It was really nice chat. It was very friendly. She thought it was going to go down the route of we're going hammer and tongs, but that's not how I rolled with it. And it was just it was a really good friendly chat before the game. Informative. I was using Abbi's Tottenham knowledge to get out, the information she would provide about Tottenham. And then she got led down a path into admitting that she really liked Arsenal and they're a really good team. She admires them and they were fantastic. So.
Abbi, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to respond here because that's crazy.
I wouldn't say I liked them.
You did say you liked them. You said you really liked them, actually.
I definitely didn't say that.
You did. Well, I think we've got the footage.
If you're trying to drive people to go and watch the footage, then just go and watch it. It was before the North London derby.
It was ages ago and it's dead footage.
Yeah, no, they can run it back. I definitely didn't say I have a soft spot. I definitely didn't say that I like them. I said I respect the way that Arsenal are playing football. Yeah.
I've decided that I don't, to be perfectly honest. Really? I was sat there watching the Leeds game. I was sat there with my mum because my mum's a big Arsenal fan.
Okay.
And I was sat there going, how do you enjoy it? It was after it was when it was like 2 own goals, and I was looking at it being like, at the end of the day, I understand why you enjoy this because you're going to win the Premier League for the first time in 22, 23 years.
21.
However many.
No,
years.
I think it's actually 22. Yeah,
it's 22, isn't it? Because it was 2004.
Yeah,
see, quick maths. See, educated man.
I love when Kenya does
when she's on the DR
I love it
Sports.
when she's moderating.
Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it?
I mean,
what's Kenya said?
Because Terry McDad said, "What is this poll? It's a semi-final," and she said, "Let's use critical thinking, G." Just
one of the comments has said,
"I love you, Kenya."
Well, one of the comments says Dylan is a bad son. Should support the same club as his mum.
No.
I'm a United fan through and through,
Does
mate.
your dad support United?
Dad's not a football guy.
Is he not
So
at all?
you're a glory hunter then? That's what you
No, because I'm a United fan.
Yeah, so where were you?
All glory hunters left. Where was I born? I was born in Chelsea.
In Chelsea?
I was born in Chelsea. Yeah.
He was born in the era where he picked Bruno Fernandes over Cesc Fabregas.
No, so
Yeah, man, big
how
up.
old are you?
25.
25. So you would have been 20.
So
Yeah, full blown United era.
So
yeah, it could have been Chelsea.
I became a United fan.
Yes.
I became a United fan through best friend of mine when I was a kid. Was his whole family were United fans.
He certainly ain't your best friend now, yeah?
Yeah. I'm sure he's doing all right. But it was basically his family had a tradition. This is so fat of me. Their family had a tradition where they would order pizza for all the United games.
Yeah.
We lived around the corner. I genuinely used to go to his house for the pizza.
Really?
And so we'd end up supporting all the United games. And of course, my friendship. Big up, shout out Josh Porter. But that's how I ended up becoming a United fan because I come from the most part from rugby and cricket family.
Yeah.
And then I got into football through that way, like in English. I was sat in an English table. They were all United fans. Got into football through that way. And then, it all went downhill from there. So it might be my fault.
How come you supported Arsenal?
Do you know what? It was years and years ago. It was, and this is going to sound really, really bad. Just as a young kid, I was like 5 years old, and I just took a real liking to Arsenal. My dad was never massively into football. He was he's actually a Leeds supporter. He's from Hull. He's a Leeds supporter, and bless him. And it was Arsenal, and it was actually the 1987 League Cup final that got me hooked as an Arsenal fan. Obviously Tottenham, they had some issues against us, and then obviously Liverpool, and we went on to win it. And then I really liked Arsenal. I started following them as a kid, and then obviously 88, 89 that's when it just went into complete and utter overdrive with football. I was just I watched that game as a kid. I got the VHS and I must have watched it every day. And then the 1990-91 season, I had the whole season compilation, and that was on every day for like years.
Loser.
So, yeah.
Some of these comments are frying me, man. Someone says, "Can Abbi explain how she became a City fan?"
Oh, I'll tell you. I'll tell you how I became a City fan. I became a City fan because they did the Lord's work for me.
Yeah.
So City don't bother me in the slightest. Like,
they don't bother anyone.
Firstly, we usually beat them. So
what happened? What happened at the weekend? This is the most Tottenham Hotspur
also
thing.
Do you know what? It's the result. That result does nothing for us, really. But I mean, obviously, it's a point.
No, all you did was get 1 point.
It does.
And you're 14th.
It really does nothing for us. It's either like lose and let's help City out and save the world, or at least win.
Do you know what that was?
And take the 3 points.
That is where you know
the most Spursy result ever.
Thomas Frank is definitely a silver member, right? That is the best result for us.
I saw you post this.
Yeah. I posted it the other day.
Thomas
Frank's actual he's not actual member, his membership as a silver member, because obviously that point is not much towards you stopping you guys getting relegated.
Yes.
And obviously
I'd
it
rather not have the
completely
point, but
derails
still.
City's title charge. They
Yeah.
dropped 2 points essentially. But that is the most Tottenham thing, Spursy thing. That first half.
So funny.
At half time, I was like, this game's finished.
He's
Man
getting
City are
sacked,
going to
yeah.
go and walk on 4-5-0. They were just dead at the stadium, everything. Then second half, and then Dominic Solanke pulls out a scorpion kick.
Yeah, Puskas.
And I was just like, I don't know about that. It's nothing like Giroud's, was it, personally?
I don't know. I've had others that have scored Puskas's before.
And then you get a draw, which I was watching it, and I was like, this is so good. I was like, pulled it back out of the, and I was just like, what an afternoon, what a weekend. Yeah, I know.
It did nothing but help you, and maybe a point will keep us up at the end of the season. Who knows? But like, it did absolutely nothing.
Because you've got United at the weekend.
United.
Is that
At
12:30
Old Trafford.
kickoff?
Yeah,
12:30.
It's, so you-
It's one of those ones where like it's always in the back of my mind. Never back the early kickoff.
No.
I'm not a betting man, but it's complete. It's so true. We also have we beaten you at the at Old Trafford? I don't know if we've even beaten
I think
you in
I
ages at Old
personally
Trafford.
think this will be the next game in your man United strain, getting his haircut, getting that Barnet off his
Yeah, because the last one is then West Ham away.
West Ham, which
Somewhere we always lose.
Really?
Yeah, what the West Ham away is what got Ten Hag sacked.
Oh, is it? But I
Yeah.
think this United side, you'd fancy your chances.
If
Oh,
he
against Pep.
Both of those
if Michael
games.
Carrick gets his haircut, Michael Carrick ends up letting that guy get his haircut.
Yeah.
Big up Frank, by the way. I've met him before. He's a lovely guy.
I bet, yeah.
Perfectly lovely guy. But if he manages to get his haircut, I feel like there's a whole weight lifted off the club.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much unnecessary pressure. Because I remember when
He'll definitely have the weight lifted off of him.
Yeah, we get
a ton of hair.
He's been walking around like this for the last like 4 months. But no, if he gets his haircut, it'd be like a symbol of like we finally made it. Because 5 wins on the bounce, by the way, for any club, even in a good, that's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
It's such an unrealistic expectation to start with. The guy's on almost 1 million Instagram followers now, by the way. You know,
Yeah, I know. He's
like
made a career
700k
out
on
of it.
TikTok.
Really?
Yeah,
play to him.
he's all got
amazing.
almost like 2 million followers on
I
all
love that for
platforms.
him. Imagine how many views that video will get if he gets to the point where he can shave his head.
Oh yeah, it'd
So
be
he's
crazy.
actually
Insane.
apparently sold some of the hair, or not sold some. He's given it to charity.
Love
for,
that.
Yeah,
some
it is
kids.
really good. So
Yeah.
he's
Great-
obviously
great
he's
cause.
donating hair for to turn into wigs.
Yeah, there is. I can't
For
remember.
cancer
Yeah,
patients.
there was a charity that used to do that at school.
Yeah.
And you used to grow kids' hairs really long, and they make.
Yeah, he gets a lot of stick because I think
I've seen it
his hair
online.
represents just how bad we've been. It's a physical manifestation of how terrible we've been under
Course.
Ruben Amorim. But like at the same time, like it's not like he's like taking on betting sponsors and doing all that.
I'm not being funny. Even if he did, mind your business,
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Mind your business.
But what
get
I think-
your bag
yeah.
where you can get your bag and just crack on with your own life. The amount of time and patience people put in to hating on other people and commenting and doing all these horrible little trolly stuff. Mind your business and go to work. Spend less time
do you
on
know
your
what?
phone.
I
Yeah.
actually
Is my view.
saw a not really nasty video actually at Old Trafford of this is like this older I wouldn't call him a gentleman, this older guy that was obviously quite
yeah,
well
I know you're about to
lubricated,
talk
should we
about.
say? And he grabbed him and tried to strangle him.
pulling
and I was
his-
just
trying
like,
to pull his
what's
hair.
this guy done to you, man? Like,
Yeah.
leave him alone. Like you say, there are a lot of people like that
There's
online.
so
It's
much
just
hate
like
in the world.
I know
like,
there
guys
is.
just like take a.
It was
chill
never
out.
meant to be what it is.
But why can't? But even if he's grown it into something, good for him. It's no different to someone starting a YouTube channel
Yeah.
and doing that. So what the difference?
He's
is
found
he
the
hasn't
most
cut his
insane,
hair.
and also it created the fantastic little thing we see of Matisse and the red cards, which just makes me laugh all the
Yeah.
time. When Matisse, every time Chelsea get a red card, he puts a wig on and does his whole like not shaving my hair until Chelsea don't get a red card for 5 games.
It's funny. He's like,
Yeah.
I just think let people be people, and if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it.
Yeah, of course.
You can turn off the stream, turn off the TV, just save your little hate comments elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is my view.
Ronnie Dodge says a super chat, so bear in mind he's a United fan, saying, "Tell Marty, can we play at Arsenal again? Another 3-2." I've not seen you since that game,
You haven't, mate.
So
I went into
What's the
hiding.
song
I-
again? What's the song? Sing the
Huh?
song. The,
So what song?
The Dorgu Bruno song.
Oh, Cunha Bruno, Cunha Bruno, Cunha
Yeah.
Bruno. Luke
Do you know what?
Cunha.
Obviously, I watched Flex.
Oh my God,
On the
he's
net, he was
outrageous.
absolutely hilarious.
Outrageous.
Do you know? I actually quite like that Kuna dance that he does. I think it's
Well,
quite
the
cool.
little-
yeah, that little. I think it's fantastic. Honestly, listen. I know you guys. Listen, you done well. We gifted you the game. It's as simple as that. Zubamendi, who just you just wouldn't think would do that. Puts it straight exactly where you don't want Brian and Bremo to have the ball. And what's he do? He sticks it in the back of your net. Then Madueke gives the ball to Kuna. Back in net. Would you expect Kuna doing what Kuna does?
So this is what I was saying to Abby before, is that Gary O'Neill went on the Coach's Voice a few months ago and basically said there was this little like 10 by 10 square that we always tried to get Cunha and just let him shoot.
Yeah,
that's that exact
that's
square
exactly
where
where
he
it
shot
is.
in. Yeah,
And obviously with the Dorgu, I mean, you need to close the guy down. Zubimendi again. I don't like Zubimendi's done this a few times. There'll be someone going to take a shot and he sort of backs off and does this duck. And the ball's in the back. It was a fantastic goal. And look, I'll be honest with you, you're not going to win every game of football. You can't go every Premier League season invincible. It's just not possible. And
Draw 12.
and
it was one of those games where the stars just aligned, didn't it? Like,
Of course
they
in
did.
our favour, everything aligned in our favour. All the shots were good. Wonder goals,
That will go down as
passes.
one of the. It's very sad, but it
Yeah.
will go down as one of the highlights of the season.
And also, yeah,
Really?
but
Firstly, I was so ill that weekend. It was my birthday, and I was very, very ill.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you. It wasn't that happy, but that was my happy moment.
Okay.
That
Yeah, you're
was-
welcome,
It gave
man.
me something.
What, watching Arsenal lose?
Oh, it
look,
actually healed
when
me.
you when
No.
when
It
you
healed me,
when
yeah,
you
I felt
can
fine
support
after that.
Brian
Is that
and
because
Bruno,
you
life
now
is
know?
better.
Is that because you now know that it's going to give Arsenal a kick up the arse and they're now going to go on to win serious trophies? 'Cause we all know you want Arsenal to.
No, I mean, obviously, I know you're going to win the league anyway. Like,
Do you reckon that's a foregone conclusion? We're going to win the league.
I basically have thought it the
I
whole
said it
time.
since,
I
like,
think I
November.
said it back in October that I'm pretty sure you're going to win the league.
Yeah.
It's just obviously any chance, like
It was
yeah.
just Kim in my ear was the only one giving me any sort of doubts. 'Cause
No,
Kim
it's
was
more like
"Ooh."
if the only reason Arsenal won't win the league is if Arsenal lose it. Like,
Yeah.
and obviously, if you want people to put the pressure on, like I do, like if City could be consistent, or if
Yeah.
Villa could be consistent, or anybody, I don't care who it is, then that would be great. But yeah, I mean, it's just more hopium. But I've always felt you were going to win the league, and I won't be here. I will be gone
Yeah.
Where will you be?
away. I intend to
Is that
be gone.
before or after Tottenham get
Abby,
relegated?
should we go to Greece or something?
I'm
Just
going
leave
further
the
than that.
premises further than Greece.
Further. I'm going somewhere where there's no one
Seychelles.
can find me.
Madagascar.
Further. Further.
That's
moon.
what. That's why we need.
Jeff
to,
Bezos'
I'm going
rocket.
further.
That's why we need to win this Carabao Cup. So
There's
that
an island called like Christmas
Yeah.
Island,
all
or
these,
like
all these,
Sandwich
Christmas,
Island.
all these holidays.
Easter Island. I've
Easter
never been there. I want to go
Island.
see the little things.
I'm just
See our
going.
sports vlog in
I'm
Easter
out of
Island.
Here. It's happening.
Yeah.
Wow.
I will not be here on that
before we
Monday.
wrap up, though, obviously we're sponsored by Rocket. We do Rocket Ranked
Spaceship.
every single time with 5 minutes to go. And just on the subject, so the game tonight, I'm really looking
Yeah.
for. I think not having midweek games for me has meant that I appreciate more games as like a slight neutral. Like I'm looking forward to this game just because, as you said, it just should be a great game, especially
Yeah.
if Chelsea score first. It's been raining, we know, for both teams. But so I just want to rank possibly. Talk about, I'd say, the best 3 Prem games. It can be either your team or not your team that we've actually seen this season. Because there have been some mad games. We've got Fulham Man City, the 5-4
What is
game.
it? Our favourite game?
Yeah, just favourite games you've what like
Oh,
take the emotion out of it and stuff.
One of
Because well, for example, not for me, but for other people, that Bournemouth 4, Man United 4
Yeah, that
game,
was good.
everyone was like, that was mad.
Bournemouth
Yeah, it was a
Liverpool
good
a couple
game.
weeks ago was a good game.
Yeah,
3-2.
Fulham, Bournemouth, Liverpool first game of the season as well, the 4-2 game. That was crazy.
Do you know what? And I know.
The United game was up
City,
there.
Fulham.
I really enjoyed that 4-0 against Leeds on Saturday. I know people say, "Oh, it's Leeds," but we done them 5-0, and I really enjoyed that game as well.
Surely North
They-
London derby for you. Because of the Eze hat-trick.
It was kind of boring, though.
Yeah. Do you know what that was? No.
From an Arsenal fan
Do you know
perspective,
what?
yeah, that
Actually,
was
do you
amazing.
know what? There's
But it was kind of
there's
boring
been
from a neutral. There was no jeopardy in that game
neutral,
because
yeah.
you were disgracefully bad and you were great.
Listen, it's Arsenal Tottenham, and one thing I will say about Arsenal Tottenham. Look, would I say right? Would I like Tottenham to get relegated? Yes, I would, but only for one season. I wouldn't want to miss out. The joy of them being relegated would be great for one season, but that game. Okay, look, we won it convincingly this time, but they're not always like that. These games, if you've ever been to these games, the
different.
atmosphere in the stadium is unbelievable. Everything, the tackles, there's always a red card. I think it's just
Usually
football.
for us.
What football's all about. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so from an Arsenal perspective, I get another game.
No. I think
and-
from even for a Tottenham.
No, I mean, I would
No,
love
but
to see you
I meant
relegated.
specifically that game. I
No,
watched
that's
it. I was like,
specifically
"Lol,
that
that's
game.
fun.
But
That's
I
cool."
understand- like, I thought
But
that
I
would be
wasn't like
a
on the
better
edge of my seat going, "Oh, what's going to happen next?" Because it was like
No.
more goal.
I actually think I mean, not the whole game, but the second half of that Spurs City game probably is up there because it was carnage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, to be fair,
Do
that
you
was
know what? That whole
chaos.
game, that whole game, honestly, because on one hand you're sitting there and you're like, I was just there like Man City walking this.
Yeah.
I was like, you've got Semenyo puts it in the back, and you're just
Yeah.
like, and then
I love comebacks.
and then in the second half, it was a complete completely different side. So
Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah.
And another game I loved was,
Oh, Grimsby was good. Thank you for that.
Oh, don't. Yeah,
Sure.
let's not talk about that.
That was one of my
Grimsby.
favourite
Oh
games
yeah,
as
no,
well.
I loved Spurs 1, Wolves 1. What a fantastic
Yeah, that was
game
good
that was.
when
Great game.
Polina rips his top off.
Yeah, fantastic game.
Yep.
What an equaliser from
Love that
Polina.
too.
Yeah. I think my
Nibble!
favorite, my favorite game is the City
Huge.
game. Yeah, over the City game, Arsenal game for us, and then maybe I don't even know what other game. What other games have been fun? Probably the Spurs City game is up there because I was just laughing. I found it
I'd say
funny.
I'd say
Mark
Arsenal
Gay
United was
scoring
my
an own
favourite
goal
so
and
far.
everything.
which one?
Arsenal United was my favourite.
was it?
I loved it.
What, the first one when we beat them at Old Trafford?
No, this one. That it was
Very
great.
funny.
It was great. And when we beat City,
We
away
win on
2-0.
away goals. Over
Oh,
the two
away
games.
goals. That's an old thing now. It's old school.
Our away
Score
goals
prediction
thing.
for tonight.
For tonight, 3-2 Arsenal again.
Do you think 3-2? Yeah.
Yeah.
Abby
I think Arsenal win it on pens.
on penalties.
Yeah, fancy something like that.
Interesting.
That's
Should
going to be a
fun.
long
Look,
old night.
Pe-
We'll go
Pe- look, it's
extra
good. This is what I'm
time,
saying. I'm
then
enjoying
penalties.
it. But for all of you guys who are raring and ready to go for the game, remember there is so much content coming on AFTV. Got lineups game, got the live stream, everything. Go and check Marty and Co out on AFTV.
They're
and
also
obviously
sorry,
post-match
just
reactions.
sorry to interrupt
Yeah?
you. They are at the Hippodrome tonight in Leicester
Yes,
Square for a
Hippodrome.
massive watch along. It's going to be
Nice.
absolutely
Yeah, big
huge,
up.
and
Tune
obviously
into
all the
that.
fan cams afterwards. So.
Yeah. But apart from that, thank you guys so much for watching. Obviously, I'm Dylan, live at 5 to 6 p.m. every day on Samsung TV, DR Sports and Co. Apart from that, I'll see you then soon.
Let's go. What do you do with yours? I do unlimited football content.
Well, I do unlimited bragging.
Well, I do unlimited swiping right.
Well, I do unlimited doom scrolling.
Well, I do unlimited sliding into the DMs.
Well, I do watching TikTok on the bus without headphones unlimited.
Oh, God.